Yeah, so right now I'm trying to wash some dishes. As you can see, I have a few spoons right there and a mug and a couple other containers that I'm trying to wash with this sponge. And even though I've been sort of intermittently coming and going to my sink on several occasions over the last hour, as soon as I started to try to wash and rinse out the dishes, the water from this tap suddenly started to stink like sewage. It smells like it's coming out of a toilet, which means that it has some kind of biohazardous effluent somehow leaking or managing to make its way into the water that is coming out of this tap. The water that comes out of this tap comes from the water main out on the street, which is treated Boston water from the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority. It goes through multiple checkpoints before it gets into your home. It should never stink like raw sewage, but this is intermittent, which means that it's not constant and it's not coming from the Boston water supply. If it was constant, then the problem could be with the Boston water supply, but the stink, the stench that is so foul that you can smell it as soon as it comes out of that tap, regardless of what you're trying to rinse with it or not rinse with it, that is intermittent. And that means that it is coming from inside this building and contaminating the water to this tap intermittently. So what I have to do right now to make sure that my utensils are not contaminated with biohazardous waste is to spray the utensils down after I've rinsed them with the water and wiped them down with the sponge that I've sprayed with 70% rubbing alcohol. Anybody who knows anything about biohazardous waste, and I do because I have a degree, a Bachelor of Science degree in biological sciences, a Master of Science equivalency in tumor biology and angiogenesis, and a PhD ABD, also known as an Advanced Master of Science degree in clinical developmental psychology. I know biohazardous waste. I know how to deal with it. I worked as a master's level research scientist for pharmaceutical industries, biotech companies, and Harvard Medical School for 18 years between 1995 and 2012, when my scientific career went over to retail. But I have conducted so many experiments. I know exactly how to dispose of and deal with biohazardous waste. I assure you that when your tap water suddenly stinks like raw sewage, then that's exactly what's coming out of your tap, because the Boston water supply is treated and tested before it gets into your home. And the water from this tap comes out of the water main out on the street where everybody else's water also comes from. So any kind of intermittent filth that is evident in your water, for instance, if your water suddenly turns rust colored or brown or has a foul smell, then that is coming not from the Boston water supply, but from somewhere inside your building. So what I have to do again is to spray down my dishes and utensils after I have rinsed them out with this water so that they are not contaminated with the sewage that is obviously somehow managing to make its way into this tap. As I keep mentioning, in 2019, the psychopath, sex offender, cybercriminal, and career criminal named Jasmine Irizarry, who was living in the unit behind this wall, Unit 78, engaged in about 2 hours worth of extensive construction work against the pipes to my sink from inside the bathroom behind this wall. I had lived in this unit for 8 years at that time and had never, ever once had any concerns about the water that came out of this tap. I was drinking it like it was, like it was well water, right? Which is usually clean. I was drinking it. I had no issues with it. But then all of a sudden, in June of 2019, just after the construction work was done from the bathroom of 78, where a known psychopath and career criminal named Jasmine Irizarry has been housed by the Greenville Group since 2013 and continues to live in this building, that's when all of a sudden the water from this tap started to stink, smell foul, and make me sick to the point where I couldn't use it to rinse dishes or to wash food with or to drink, certainly not. And then I started having to buy large amounts of bottled water, some of which I still have over here. So this is happening now. It's preventing me from being able to do what I need to do at this tap. And now I have to go down the hall to the common bathroom where the water from the bathroom tap in the common bathroom on the same floor, 30 feet down the hall, never stinks. It never smells nasty because what comes out of this tap does not come out of the tap from the bathroom down the hall, which is very interesting, right? I mean, isn't this the entire same water supply to this building? It's all coming from the same water main out on the street from the Boston water supply. Why would my tap water smell like filth that is so intense and concentrated that it literally hits you as soon as it comes out of this tap? Well, that's because somebody is using some type of saddle valve device or something similar to that. Obviously, I don't know exactly what it is, to intermittently contaminate the water to this tap. And that is not me coming up with that idea. That was suggested to me by a former maintenance manager. And when I said, look, I mean, this water is causing so many problems, I'm going to hire an independent plumber to look into what the problem could be. He said, oh, no, please don't do that. I could lose my job. Yeah, there you go. So there is an issue. And it's not coming from the Boston water supply. It is related to something going on in this building with respect to the plumbing to this tap.